Telling our stories is the connective tissue of the collective human experience. The Just Keep Talking podcast delves into the lives and stories of artists. What is the impact of mental health on creativity? What does it mean to be a creative individual? Someone who feels deeply, experiences joy and pain intensely, and navigates the challenges of life through the creative process. With each story shared, we explore the authentic experience of our basic need to be seen, to be heard, and to belong. We're really not so different from one another, nor are we alone. Together, we can inspire, encourage, and enlighten each other to find the true joy and fulfillment that is within ourselves. When we just keep talking, we create the space for gratitude, self-acceptance, and grace in everyday life. In a world filled with divisiveness, fostering inclusivity and connection is a powerful way to make a positive impact. The Just Keep Talking podcast with me, Brother Love, because your story matters. Hello and welcome to the Just Keep Talking podcast with me, Brother Love. I am your host, and I'm hosting a friend in my home today, Francis Valentino. Hello.
Hello, how are you? Thanks for having me over.
I'm
looking forward to this.
Yeah, man, me too, man. I rarely have interviews at my own house because I have the two dogs. I got the Ringo, who's 11 almost, and I have Jazz, who's almost 1, and having a puppy. It's insane.
I'm sure.
It's craziness all around the house all the time. And I'm a single parent until my wife comes home. Everything is me now until it's we again. She's on the road. She'll be back soon in the middle of December, right around the time of our 10-year anniversary, my friend.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
That's a great feat.
Yeah. But I figured it'd be so easy to have a fellow drummer over our house.
Oh, it could go one of two ways. It could be the easiest thing or the most complicated thing in the world.
Exactly.
We'll aim for the first choice there.
Exactly. Francis Valentino, you are a phenomenal drummer. You are from Long Branch, New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
You are one of the New Jersey drummer musician friends that are a part of our lives. Did you know my wife, Sarah Tomek, growing up?
I did for a great portion of it. So I would say, actually, on the way over here, I was thinking about this. I think 2004 is the first time I met her at the Wonder Bar in Asbury. And she was in the band Days Awake at the time.
Yeah.
And I was in my first band Outside the Box from New Jersey. And we were crossing paths with those guys all the time. So I've known her forever.
Yeah. Outside the Box. You guys were the house band at the Stone Pony for a while, weren't you?
Yeah, a couple of years, a couple of great summers in there. I think it was 2010, 11, and 12.
Right. That is so cool.
That was a great time.
So you were pals. You were friends.
Yeah, but the thing is, two drummers are really in the same place.
Well, that's the thing.
So we never really got to, solidify the friendship and hang over the years. It's always kind of just passing, load ins, load outs.
Yeah. Well, what about competitiveness?
Oh, I can't beat her.
You can't? Really?
Oh, no, she's fantastic.
Yeah, she is fantastic.
She's the best.
Isn't she? I mean,
yeah.
She really is so phenomenal, and it's pretty amazing. But you are phenomenal.
Oh, thank you.
You really, truly, truly are. And I love to hear other drummers say how wonderful a player you are, and they really, truly mean it.
Wow, well, that means everything to me then. You know? And vice versa, same way I feel about Sarah.
Yeah.
Outstanding. It's a different species of player she is.
What was it like for her? Do you remember, can you recall Sarah coming up? Because, all right, she's a girl. For a girl drummer, she's pretty good. That's what she's been hearing her whole life. And then I correct these people. I said, you know something? She's the drummer. She's not just the best drummer for a girl. She's like the best drummer, period.
She's the best drummer in New Jersey, in my opinion.
Wow.
And maybe ever,
Wow.
frankly. So the way I can frame that the best is if I knew that we were going to be on a gig and she was also on that gig later on, usually we were opening for somebody, we would practice twice as hard.
Really?
And I would practice 3 times as hard to be in her presence.
Wow.
Just to make sure I didn't look like a doofus.
That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
So there wasn't any kind of competitive nature because Sarah doesn't.
No.
Yeah, you guys were cool. And there's a family feeling coming now to Nashville. When did you move to Nashville?
October 2016.
Right. And you've been living right around the corner from us.
That's true. If I threw a ball as hard as I could hit my house from here.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. We moved in here 2015. We got married in 2015. We bought our house before we were married. It is almost our 10-year anniversary. And we bumped into you and your lovely wife, Casey. You're married, right?
More or less. Yes.
And she's phenomenal and fantastic. And we run into you guys, and it's like you live right there.
Yeah.
We walk our dogs, and you're half a block away. And we didn't know this. My point is, we didn't know this up until just a few years ago.
Same. I've walked by here hundreds of times.
Yeah.
You know, every few days I walk by here. So I finally popped in to say hello. This is fantastic.
So what brought you to Nashville? Because just to give a little bit of history, you were, a Jersey cat. And there was a band, Hellbound Glory,
That's
that you
right.
were a part of in like the early 2010s, 2013.
Exactly.
What was that band like?
That was a country band / grunge band,
Right.
which I've coined Grunchery.
Nice.
Which I hope they still use, out of Reno, Nevada.
Right.
We did some great touring with those guys. I was on 3 or 4 years worth of touring with them. And that actually leads me into how I got to Nashville.
Right.
In 2013, we came through here on what at the time was the Kid Rock tour, Kid Rock Rebel Soul tour. That's before he went totally crazy. We had a 2-week layover here. We're doing a record. We did a record out in Franklin. And in that 2-week period, I'm like, well, I could just live here now. So that was 2015. And I kind of just started deciding that, well, I'll just come stay here, crash here in people's places. Look for a place a little bit cheaper at the time. And that was kind of what set the whole thing off, was just coming through here on tour and just realizing, oh, I can just work here. I can play more.
Yeah, that's kind of how we all came down.
Yeah.
I was playing drums in a country rock band, and we were signed to Warner, and then we were dropped. But it was right in the 2009, 10, 11, and we all just stayed here. It was 2013, and I was living here permanently, and I put them vibes together with Alex Rahal. He was the guitar player in the band that we moved to Nashville in, and that's kind of how things happen. We always ask, well, how'd you get here? How'd you get here? And it's invariably music, right? Invariably, is that the correct word?
Oh, yeah.
Good word.
Very good word.
Yeah, very good.
Strong word.
So, and I thought it was funny because the band I came to Nashville with, we opened up for Kid Rock for a few shows. And I think it was before your time opening up on that tour. That was 2013 that you were in?
The tour was 2013, like January through April 2013.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting parallel we both have.
Yeah. We came down here totally in like country rock and roll bands, and I never thought in a million years. I mean, you are an Italian man from New Jersey.
110.
Francis Valentino.
Oh, that's right.
Did you ever imagine in your wildest dreams that you would be living in Nashville, Tennessee, in the South of the United States of America?
Not in a million years.
Not in a million.
And that's the point. There was no flag planting of deciding to come here. It was just, well, this seems like a logical place to be near.
Right.
But being in the South is a whole different species. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, because the same for me. Okay, so I'm a Jew from New York. All right, Jews and Italians were practically the same.
Identical.
Except you have way better food. Our noses, if we were on a video or in person, Our profiles are just a tiny bit different. We have larger noses. One is just shaped a little differently. That's really
That's it.
We have a little bit of olive skin.
Oh, yes, sir.
We've got some dark hair. Our features, I mean, not every Jew and not every Italian, these aren't the features for everybody, but you and I could be brothers. Absolutely. And I just think it's so bizarre for me to have moved down here as a Jewish person, and I say ish, I'm not a very religious person.
Oh, me neither.
I'm a spiritual person. And for people to be like, wow, you're like the first Jewish person I ever met. And I'd be like, wow, what year is this? It's bananas to me.
Well, I'm one of the few Italians who live down here in these parts.
Oh, my goodness. So, okay. So whenever I meet somebody in the South here, or in the South in general, and they are clearly Italian, okay? They look Italian. They have a last name just like yours, Valentino. And they sound like this. I said, well, where are you from? They said, I'm Italian, right? Well, I said, are you from Italy? Well, no, I'm from Franklin. I said, oh, okay, you're from Franklin. That's fine. I said, do you have any family anywhere? I'm not too sure. I said, so you definitely didn't just like come from Italy to Franklin, Tennessee. Okay, there was somewhere in the middle. You know something? I believe we have an uncle or cousin or something up in Brooklyn. And I'm like, go talk to this person.
Yeah, they got the whole tree laid out in their living room.
Go and talk. You will laugh your ass off. You will hear stories. The Italian culture is so awesomely incredible to me. So what does it feel like for you? Because you're Francis Valentino. I mean, you look it, you act it. I feel like I could be in the scene in The Godfather. He's literally sitting here. You're rubbing your two hands together.
Oh, yeah. It's maniacal. I'm plotting my next my next move here.
What's it like for you as an Italian New Jersey cat in the South? Like, honestly.
Thankfully, because we're around musicians who are fantastic, the best people in the world, not much thought goes into it. But, once you start hitting gas stations outside of Davidson County here, it gets a little curious.
Yeah.
And, you wonder, what's this guy's life like? And vice versa.
Yeah.
Everybody's cool. I've had very, very few moments over the years anywhere in the South or anywhere in the country of disliking the Italian people.
Right.
But just they don't quite understand it. It's we move fast.
Yes.
And a lot of people, not that it's wrong, move a bit slower. Mm-hmm. And especially if us Italians get riled up, it goes hyperspeed.
Yeah.
And that can scare a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Do you ever just turn it on, like where you actually say, you know what, let me press this button. Let me press my Italian button.
That needs an influence. It needs one Mark Macefield, also known as Mark Mazzella, who's out there.
Yeah,
can get me there real quick in a very nice way. Crank up the speed and we're in.
Yeah,
just getting a lot done.
Yeah,
firing back and forth on all cylinders.
Mark Macefield is a phenomenal keyboard player. You guys play a lot together. Didn't you play together in the Matthew Curry band?
We did.
You did?
Yeah, for years.
I noticed you played with Matthew Curry for a few years. Do you still play with him?
I do, all the time. Actually, he just signed with a German label, so he's going to be going back and forth quite a bit for this next few touring cycles, next few years.
He's a great guitar player, singer, songwriter.
Oh, yeah, great guy, great friend, too.
Yeah.
Been with him for exactly 10 years.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible.
Made some great music together.
Yeah.
Great hang. And he's let me bring a lot of my friends into the band.
Yeah.
Who are all from New Jersey. Who would have thought?
That's great. So. That's what I always find funny is I can always tell the New Jersey and the New York cats, especially like in the rock and roll world. I could just tell. I see him, I'm like, that's a guy or girl from home. And you guys you have a way of being together in the band and you look out for each other. And it's great. So you are on the records as well. You're not just a touring drummer, correct?
Oh, yeah. Co-produced the last really 2 records and then have played on everything since 2015 for him.
Yeah.
So, in the studio.
Was that something that you've encountered being in Nashville as a drummer? Because when I moved to Nashville in the band I was in, I didn't know that I wasn't going to play on the records. And when I first moved here, we were going to do some sides for Sony at the time. It was before the band got signed to Warner. And they were like, yeah, you can come to the studio if you want.
Yeah, you can watch.
But you can leave your sticks, leave your cymbals. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, the producer has a drummer and a bass player. They have a rhythm section. And the guitar player might play a little bit. And obviously the lead singer's going to sing. And you're not going to play on the record. And I just was crushed. I thought, I'm in Nashville. I left New York.
It's like, I'm here. I can do it.
Yeah. And looking back, I would not have been able to be as good and as quick. I get it now. I mean, I understand, but I was crushed. I didn't know from that. Is that something that resonated with you? Like, did you encounter that?
Very, very little. I've been lucky. I've always been in bands that are kind of traveling as a whole.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, that can still happen in that case, too. Then it's even worse.
Yeah, that's
a disaster.
That's what happened with me. Yeah. I was in the band. We were touring and playing, and we were a band that was signed to the label. But it was like, nope, the producer wants what they want. And I get it. But so you haven't encountered that?
Not quite. I mean, we've been approached with that in various bands. I think Outside the Box was originally. But at the time and now still, whatever band I'm in just sounds like that band. If you take one part out, it causes some sort of ripple in the
exactly
in the atmosphere that no one can quite figure out. So they find it better just to we'll let them all play, see what happens. And then okay, that's fine. And I've had thankfully a lot of lead singers and people be like, nah, we're using my guys, or I'm not doing this.
That's so great.
I've been lucky with that because I know that's a super common unfortunate trend in all areas of music, whatever instrument.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, so your big gig these days is David Lee Roth.
Yes.
How long have you been the drummer for David Lee Roth?
Since 2019.
Wow. And how did that come about? How did you get that gig?
So again, through the pipeline of all of my Jersey people.
Really?
Going one more time back to Outside the Box.
Outside the Box. Is that a band that's still together?
It's kind of like a frozen entity.
Right.
Where we're all best friends. The 4 of us are the best possible friends for one another that we could possibly ever have.
Right.
The band never broke up. We just kind of said, well, let's go do other stuff.
Right.
And we may be planning a reunion this year. Fair warning.
Oh, that's great. Fair warning. Pun intended.
Yes.
That's what I love about you cats from like the Jersey area where like Sarah's from, Asbury Park, your Long Branch is right down the road. Is that you guys get together in the bands that you played in from, years ago. And I think it's so cool. Like, I wish I could get back together with my bands from Queens. Most people aren't even playing music anymore.
Right, yeah, that's
but
a sad thing.
Just recently, there was a reunion, a band called Status Green, correct?
Lou. Yeah,
Lou.
Status Lou.
Right. And opening up for Status Green at the Stone Pony was our boy Rick Barry.
Oh, the best.
Right?
The best of the best.
The best
My God.
of the best songwriters. And the drummer for Rick Barry is John Stewart.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's the drummer. And they have a band called Church and State. And it's like insane. You're like, wait a minute, Rick Barry, who's playing drums for you? John Stewart, the John Stewart. And I think it's so funny. And obviously he's new at playing drums and he's giving it his all and he's keeping the beat. And you know what it is? He loves it.
That's where the spirit comes from, that magic.
His magic. And Rick Barry, who's one of the most phenomenal songwriters ever. He won like the John Lennon Songwriter Award.
Yep.
I think he won it twice. Like, I think he beat himself out for like the award or something. And Rick Barry tells the story of their band practice. And John Stewart gets a phone call and it's his mom. And he finally, all these years, he gets to say, "Ma, I'm at band practice. Leave me alone." And he's like the spirit of playing music together. So I love that Outside the Box is still a band. And so you do your thing. You're in Jersey. You have all your friends. They say, "Hey, call this guy. Call Francis for David Lee Roth." How and why?
The bass player from OTB.
I know why.
One of my best friends, Ryan Wheeler, great bass player. He's the musical director for Dave.
Yeah.
He moved to Los Angeles, I believe it was 2017 or 18. And actually, the very last place he slept before he moved into his place in LA was on my couch, 300 yards from here. We were a waypoint for his band who was moving out there together. Great band called Blame Candy. So Ryan ends up through one way or another as David's MD. And he's new to the organization, so he's kind of going with the LA players. The big revolving door of people coming in and out, trying out for the band. Lineups would change. They may have gone through 4 or 5 different drummers, and the last guy before me was doing a great job, but something wasn't sitting just right. But they had the KISS tour in 2020, early 2020, booked. So they went to the first date of that tour as that configuration with the other drummer, a great guy named Mike. And something didn't connect on that show, and so I get the call the night of that show saying, "Where are you?"
Wow.
And mind you, this is after that band had rehearsed for about 10 months.
Yeah.
And they've built the show around this KISS tour. So that's 10 months of learning the curve, learning how this show goes.
Yeah.
So I get the call. The next show for them was in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
How many days later?
1
day later. So
1 day.
Where's the first show? The first show is where?
The first show was in New Hampshire for those guys.
Okay.
And then there was 1 day off, and then Allentown. And I got the call the night of the first show, so I would happen to be in Jersey somehow.
Yeah.
And fortunately, well, it didn't matter where I was. I could be in the North Pole. I would have gone down to Allentown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, they kind of just asked me to come in and see how a couple of songs feel.
Yeah.
With the concept that I might be coming in to replace the other guy on the next show. We did rehearse a little bit with the band, just tinkered around with a few songs, got our feet. It was going all right. And all right, we're going to bring David in. So great, now I got to play for this guy.
What's he, waiting in the hallway?
Evidently.
Pacing?
Yeah, something like that. And he's like, "All right, let's hear a little bit of Panama." So I'll go in the hallway and listen. It's quieter out there. I can hear what's going on better. We get through like 3 or 4 bars. He's like, "Stop. All right, you're on." I'm like, "Okay, you're right. Now I have to learn this entire show in about 12 hours. In a hotel room, which I did with Ryan at my side, MDing me through it. Next night, Allentown, boom, we're on.
Wow.
Got to get through it, and then everything was cool.
Wow.
And so that was, 6 years ago now. So I've done something right, thankfully.
That's amazing. Were there any tracks being flown in at the time that you had to run or anything like that, or were you just playing drums?
No tracks. With the click track, basically.
Click track, yeah.
That's a staple in our thing.
Yeah,
I love it. Beyond that, no, we had a minimal playback, but that was controlled off stage.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, a goofy sax solo here and there. In Gigolo.
Yeah, I bet. So, did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, were you a Van Halen fan growing up?
Absolutely.
Really? So, who are your influences? Your big influences, like drumming wise, but also music wise.
Oh boy, this is always the tough one.
Yeah.
Drumming wise, I've never been too specific on on people. It's always like situational.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm the same way. People ask me like, who are your favorite drummers? I'm like, all the ones that everybody else loves.
yeah, and like, and some guy I just saw somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah, totally.
Like actually, there's like people who I've seen. I have no idea who they are. Like just in a club somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I wish I even made a voice memo of this recording so I can steal from this.
Yeah.
And I have no clue who it was. I have no idea what the band was or when it was.
Yeah.
But like, if I had to pin it down to a couple players though, like Jeff Porcaro, just he's a great session monster. Can do everything. Italian.
Yeah.
Sarah, frankly.
Yeah.
I've poached from Sarah many times.
Yeah.
Over the years. That's a little bit of osmosis from watching her play so much.
Yeah.
And then you have to say things like John Bonham.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the busy players. I don't like the Ginger Baker stuff or anything like that.
Yeah.
I hate solos.
Yeah.
I despise drum solos.
Wow. Sarah's is the same way. She hates doing a drum solo. And meanwhile, don't you have to do a drum solo every night with Hot for Teacher practically?
Just the beginning, but I've metabolized it to myself as this is part of the song.
Yeah.
So it is a solo, but it's on a script, essentially. It does the same thing.
And you are able to play that whole part with your 2 hands and 2 feet?
Yeah, my own version of it.
Your own version. Were you able to do that before this? Like, was that something like you learned growing up as a drummer? Like, I'm going to learn this. It's Alex Van Halen. I'm going to do this.
I skipped stuff like that all the time. I was like, well, that exists.
Right.
I'd rather hear him do it.
Yeah.
So honestly, I would probably, in the past, I would have just counted in the song on the riff.
Right.
Skip the drum thing.
Yeah, totally. So was it scary? I would have been out of my mind, like shitting my pants. Like, oh my gosh, I have to play Hot for Teacher now because, not that David Lee Roth is in front of me, because of all the people in the world that are going to either love or hate hate or maybe a little love. I mean, people are cruel and out of their minds, but you're a capable drummer and you're a phenomenal drummer and you're a good guy. You're
a good guy.
Oh, thanks. But I mean,
you're
like,
a better guy.
No, well, you're not a cat that I see get torn down just from your personality or your playing. Like, I do my research a little bit. Like, you're a likable enough guy that people will say, yeah, he's a good guy. Let me go check him out. Because there are some players that are like, how did this person get this gig? Not everybody's a nice cat.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for saying that. I do try to not be one way or the other. I just want to exist and play music.
Yeah.
That's it.
So was it nerve-wracking for the people out there? What was it like? What did it feel like from the fans and people coming in? Because now all of a sudden, David Lee Roth, he wasn't really busy. He wasn't touring like crazy. I happened to have seen the tour in 2007 when they first came back.
Yeah, the reunion.
The reunion. And I love A Different Kind of Truth a lot. And I think it sounds like Van Halen at their finest. And people can not like that, or I really don't care. But that show, I remembered thinking, wow, Diamond Dave is back with Van Halen, and he was everything that he always has been. Honestly, Eddie Van Halen was horrible that night.
Yeah, he was.
And from what I had heard,
a little shaky there at times.
Yeah, from what I heard, because I knew somebody that was friends with his tech, and his tech had texted down. We were in Las Vegas for the show, and his tech said, "Yeah, it's not one of these better nights for Eddie for a lot of reasons." And it was really kind of sad because, I finally got to see Van Halen, and I expected David Lee Roth to kind of be, sort of like a game show host that brings a little bit of the old stuff in there, a shimmy and shake, but he's more shimmy shake than singing and all that. But Diamond Dave was great. And he rode a big balloon of like a microphone, and he was...
Mike.
He's a wild cat, but Eddie Van Halen that disappointed me a little. But hey, I saw Van Halen. So again, what was it like to hear people, who's this new guy? David Lee Roth is now finally back on the road. He's busy. What was the experience?
I think the nature of the person who's going to listen to Van Halen and is devoutly a Van Halen fan knows the whole arc of what Van Halen was. You never know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it was vastly different every night, performance-wise. Very rarely stuck to the record anyway.
Yeah.
And the way we built our show was, especially from the drum point of view, big and bad and loud. That's it.
Yeah.
The finer points, the minutia, not really of concern.
Yeah.
Play the songs, aggressively loud bar versions of the songs. And that can drift and go anywhere. So that was the mode we were in. And it was widely accepted as, this is cool.
Right.
I mean, I didn't see anything terribly negative. Mm-hmm. Dave's vocal gets ragged on a little bit here and there, but that's what that is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very few negatives about something the band did.
Right.
I think a lot of that's because we're kind of under the spell of our incredible guitar player, Al Estrada, who is I can't process how good this guy is at doing what is required for this gig.
Yeah.
He sounds identical to Eddie Van Halen, but sounds like himself too, mixed in. It's fascinating. So I think he would be the one getting the biggest focus, the biggest microscoping. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are people who hate it, but that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's always fine with me. And there's stuff that I dislike, but keep it to myself, which is a novel idea.
Yeah.
But
with an Italian guy, you're keep it to yourself. Don't talk unless somebody talks to you. So are you able to keep yourself separated? Because there's just so much hate out there, and your mental health is what I'm asking.
Oh, yeah.
How is that? You're touring with an idol. You're touring with one of the heroes, and they say never meet your heroes. You know, what's it like?
to be honest,
And you have an NDA. You're not allowed to say anything about David Lee Roth, I'm sure.
oh yeah, I can weave and duck and dive around that thing.
Okay, good.
Carefully. But I think to answer it properly, it has to be pulled back to like the other touring that I've done, which is very mentally unhealthy at times.
Yeah.
Which is, we've all done it, which is, pilot truck stops for every meal and 12-hour days on the road to go play for 45 minutes to not get paid.
Yeah.
For a year. So coming into the David world, it's very, very pleasant for me. It's a lot of work, but I want to work.
Yeah.
I need to work. I love working. That's the great feature of what we do. We love, every day we can do this.
Yeah.
So to be able to do your thing, to work the way you want to work as much as you can, but also be taken care of, and to have a nice, civilized life on the road I've frankly have not been more content mentally than I have been in the last couple of years.
That's great.
And some of the people I've mentioned already in this have seen me not in a great place.
Yeah.
And that can be very interesting and very Italian as well. So,
What do you mean?
Misfiring and fast and ludicrous behaviors.
Yeah.
Aggression at times, like all of us. But that's anything negative seems to have gone by the wayside recently, thanks to this gig.
Wow.
And just the idea that if there is a break in this gig, I'll be okay in the gaps.
Right.
Essentially, and knowing that it's coming back, and other things come from this gig, so it's a nice little a little booster.
Yeah.
And I would never have guessed what happened. I was totally happy to do what I was doing forever.
Right.
And I still will, I'm sure. If I flame out, I'll be on the road no matter what.
Right.
With some band somewhere.
Yeah.
Is what I do. But working with David and all those guys and that band and crew has been a stabilizing event in my life.
Wow, that's
and it's
great.
fantastic.
And you must eat well,
We do.
and you sleep well.
Yes.
Big deal. Those are big deals, man. I mean, Sarah Tomek, my famous wife, she, similarly toured with Steven Tyler.
Which is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like what you...
Iconic.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have toured with, and you're still touring with, iconic people in our world that are just larger than life.
Yes.
And it's incredible. And I got to spend some time with Steven Tyler, and he's a musician's musician.
And a drummer first, right?
Yes. He's showing
incredible.
There's a message. Sarah has a message on her phone, and it's Steven basically explaining to Sarah how to play Come Together, right? And I'm paraphrasing the whole thing. Hey, Sarah, ST here. Hey, man, we're going to do Come Together, but everybody plays it wrong all the time. The drummers, they go from top to low. They go from high tom to low tom. But he didn't do that because he's left-handed. So he went, so you got to play it like that. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. So, translate that to, Ringo being left-handed, it was more difficult for him to go from the rack tom to the floor tom, high to low. So he went on Come Together. He went from the low tom to the higher tom. He went backwards. So when I play Come Together, that's how I play it. I'm left-handed as well, but I play right-handed. I wonder how more successful could I have been if I had actually stayed lefty? We'll never know. But meeting your hero, and Steven Tyler is a drummer. He's a musician. He's the guy that would say, all right, let's go, and pick up your gear and take it into the venue. So meeting that hero, and of course, he's a human being. He'll have his off moments. He'll have his off color times, whatever. He's a human being, but he's a cool guy. David Lee Roth, tell me.
Human being, a complete human being, and a fascinating person.
Yeah, he seems very fascinating.
He's one of those guys where he would say at first that all that stuff was recorded for Van Halen before he was 30.
Yeah.
And he was a famous person before he was 30 years old, had everything at his disposal, but didn't go all out. He did on stage, and the persona was one thing, but, just an interesting person, one of the deepest thinkers I've ever met.
Really?
One of the most traveled people I've ever met in my life. Seems to know so much about so many different things that have nothing to do with music, but it all comes back into the stew. He's a paramedic in New York.
Yeah, I remember that.
For a decade or so.
Yeah.
He worked in Brooklyn, EMT. He didn't have to do that.
Well, I thought back then it was like, oh, Dave, he must be poor and, needing a job. That's what I thought. And I remember thinking, wow, how does David Lee Roth need a job, like a day job? He doesn't have to do that. But like you're saying, he didn't need to do that.
He just wanted to.
Yeah.
That was something that struck him, which is kind of the same thing. If you think about it, break it down into like a couple of columns. Lead singer who impacts and affects lots of people at once.
Yeah.
often in their worst times, you bring them joy.
Yeah.
Dealing with somebody who may have just been stabbed in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
you're a first responder.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same immediate response thing. Like, you need to react to an audience. He did that better than anybody.
Wow.
Here's him arriving on a scene of something horrific.
Yeah.
And he has the, I guess the juice to be able to do that.
Right.
And he's just the way he's wired.
Yeah.
He put that to use in a very different way. And I think he loved it.
Yeah.
He tells us great stories about it all the time in rehearsal. We'll rehearse for 45 minutes, have a 2-hour talk about that era.
Right.
And then maybe play a few more songs. But
Yeah.
But meeting and knowing the guy is very different than what you might expect. Incredibly logical guy, very generous, knows exactly what he wants, is not hung up on the minutia, again, of specific parts. He lets you be yourself.
Yeah.
He wants you to be yourself. Wants you to take chances with him. Songs change every night. It's never gone the same way twice.
Yeah.
Which is great. That's, again, Jersey bar band method.
Yeah.
Comes into play here. That's useful. No, he's a very cool guy. Very cool. He'll have his moments too, like any of us, but they're fleeting. They're, 99% of Dave is great.
Yeah.
Great to work with him.
Does he have like a team around him, people that are with him all the time, maybe to his detriment where he's in a bit of a bubble, or is he hands-on with everything?
He's pretty hands-on. Everything happens from him down. He has a few people. He has a great business manager, manager, and one or two other people around him.
Right.
Before we get into the whole band crew and techs and everything.
Yeah.
Unlike Steven, who left a voicemail, David doesn't have a phone.
Oh, really?
So that's a whole different dynamic too, which is kind of cool. It's like things happen now,
Wow.
or they don't. When he's there, he gets things done on site instead of like talking about doing something or going back and forth. It's like, I'm here, we're doing this, let's do it now.
So he doesn't have a phone?
No.
That's amazing.
Yeah, fascinating.
That's so cool. So, because Steven Tyler, I'm going to say he's in a bit of a bubble. He has people that are protective of him, and I think to maybe the detriment.
I'm sure.
Because if there's one thing people want to know, is they want to know what they need to know, right? They want to be informed. And I've heard Steven Tyler yell and be upset, and it's strictly because he just didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even a big thing. It was nothing monumental. It was just tell me what the hell's going on. That's kind of what it was. And I'm like, yeah, listen to your boss. Tell him what's going on.
Just like any of us. You know, it's like, you didn't tell me to get the thing from the grocery store. How am I supposed to know? What am I,
mind reader.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. It wasn't anything monumental. It was like, just tell me what's going on. So I appreciate the fact that David Lee Roth is hands-on. And, we have friends here in Nashville that have played in the Gene Simmons band, Ace Frehley's band. Ace Frehley just passed away.
Oh, yeah.
And they have their tales, and it's a similar deal. Like Ace and Gene meeting those cats, like Gene Simmons puts a little bit of it on. The air, Gene Simmons and David Lee Roth have a similar thing. They put this thing on, right? They're these big, larger-than-life rock stars. They came up during a time that is very different from right now. Mm-hmm. But the same thing that I hear, very logical, very intelligent, and very generous. Yes. 3 things that you said about David Lee Roth that I heard the exact same thing about Gene Simmons. And I think it's pretty remarkable.
And that's actually a great segue right there. I had the pleasure of doing that Kiss tour with David and got to spend a lot of backstage time, crossing paths with Gene and Paul. Mm-hmm. Starting with Paul, easily the most generous guy I've ever met of that scale.
Paul.
Every day he'd come in, it was winter, it's dry out, he'd be like, you guys don't have enough water. He'd be slugging cases of water across the hall, kicking them into our room. He's like, drink, it's good for you.
That's
Hydrate,
great. Oh,
hydrate.
That's so cool.
Making sure we had enough food and catering.
Yeah.
Send his manager in with some gin after the show.
Yeah.
Make sure we were lubricated.
That's so funny. What, David Lee Roth doesn't do that for you guys? Paul Stanley had to do it for you guys?
Early on, he didn't know us yet, so he wasn't taking any chances. There's that logic kicking in again. Like, I don't want to juice this band up too soon.
Yeah.
But then Gene was always cool in catering. He was always very dry humor.
Yeah.
I remember one very funny thing was he's not this way, but he's pretending to scare some caterers in Springfield, Missouri,
right,
who were on site for the day. He came in, he's like, my shortbread cookies are missing. I can't perform.
Wow.
And he's straight faced, dead serious, and these girls are melting down. They're like, we have to get him his shortbread. Yeah. He's like, no, they have to be flown in from Queens. I can't go on. I won't be playing tonight because I don't have my shortbread cookies. Where are my cookies? Where are my cookies?
Wow.
And these girls are on the phone, and he looks at us and just winks. And he's like, we have tons of shortbread cookies out here.
Right.
I don't give a shit. They're shortbread cookies. Pure humor. The whole thing's a mask.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, so David Lee Roth, is it a mask? Because he puts on this thing. He smiles like a game show host. And he has the energy of a game show host. he's just kind of like out there all the time. Is he ever calm and relaxed? Do you ever just have that?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he is.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And in those moments, again, he's well, first of all, he really is the guy.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like he's the
not
guy.
putting it on.
There's no put on there. He's the guy.
My man.
But sometimes any guy calms down a little bit and
Yeah.
hangs out and talks, normally, and we do that too. And again, I can't stress the generosity enough.
Yeah.
Like just super, super generous. Like he'll have somebody who does have a phone. Hey, start ordering stuff. Let's do DoorDash. Order whatever you want. And I'll buy it. Basic stuff like that. But
Yeah.
super, super cool gear wise. Takes care of our equipment.
That's what I want to
Anything we'd ever need.
Really?
He wants to be right. And he defers to us and trusts us that we're not going to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So we'll get the right gear, plenty of it. With his thing is backups. You got to have a lot of backups and spares.
Wow. So how many gongs do you have?
We only have one gong because I don't hit it.
Do you not hit that gong?
That's a prop for now.
Really?
I tried to hit it at the last note of the last show out in California on this last tour, and I missed.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't just, right? You can't just hit a gong like once. Don't you have to kind of lead into it? Like, dun, 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 bong.
Yeah, you got to prime it a little bit before it
Right.
starts to do anything. Or else
Right.
it's like hitting a big piece of metal that doesn't make any sound.
All right, a little advice for you. Okay, Francis, here we go. So this next tour, you're going to say, well, the reason why I don't use my gong, David, is because there's no fire. I need fire around the gong, and then I'll hit the gong. And then you'll have fire. It'll be awesome.
This concept was toyed with early on.
Oh, was it?
Lighter fluid solution mixed with whatever else they use. But
Yeah.
then we realized we're playing inside every night on this tour.
Oh, my God.
So we scrapped the fire, but
Yeah.
kept the gong.
That's funny because when I was a kid in high school, I lit my cymbals on fire. So I had fake prop cymbals that were cracked and busted up. I'd been working at like catering. I worked for a catering company in a temple in Queens, Scott Ian's wedding from Anthrax.
Wow.
Like I remember putting out the place cards being like, James Hetfield, like, like Kirk Hammett. I'm like, oh my God, all these metalheads are coming to the Fresh Meadows Jewish Center for what the hell's going on? I was like Scott Friedman or Scott Feldman. It's like his name is not Scott Ian, right? And I'm like, oh my God. So that was like, during those days, and I was playing drums and I had these dummy cymbals and I took the sternos from
Classic move.
From
I love it.
catering. I took the sternos and I gooped it all over my cymbals and I had to light them earlier in the show than I wanted to. Like, that's kind of like the end of the show, light things on fire. But the sternos would evaporate, the fluid. So I had to light the cymbals a little earlier than I would have liked to. But I had these things set up. And of course, it was never as big and wild. Like, I like grabbed a lighter and lit it and it went bloop.
Like a little blue flame creeping out.
Yep.
You're like,
And then it was gone. Yeah. So there was no like big shooting fire and all that. That's so funny. So you re-recorded Van Halen songs recently, a couple of years ago.
yeah.
So I get the business aspect of it. If David Lee Roth re-records songs that he's written and he gets to own the masters, then he owns the masters. He could do whatever the heck he wants with them. What was that like for you guys? Because that's getting really under the microscope now. That's like, why would you re-record Perfection? It's Van Halen. I get why he's doing it for business, but what was that like for you?
Before those recordings, we had been in rehearsal space for 6.5 months, believing we were playing Vegas on New Year's, but there was a COVID outbreak at the venue, so that whole thing got canceled. We rehearsed forever.
Right.
So very shortly after that, Dave calls us and is like, while we're still hot from rehearsal, we're going to capture this performance, and we'll see what we're going to do with it. We don't know anything. It's not going to be like a planned out, like we're not going to release them necessarily, but we should have this.
Yeah.
Like a token of our work in the rehearsal space. So that's what we did. We went in and cut them live.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything else. He sang them. It was a 4-minute song, took 4 minutes. We were done.
Wow. How many takes did you do of each song?
Most of them just one.
And how many songs did you do?
We did 15.
15.
Yeah, we did our whole set list down the line. I think maybe 6 or 7 came out. I don't know where those are now. They might have been taken down, but we did more or less a lot of that set list right there. We have in our presence right now. But it was just no different than playing them live. We set up, took a day for tech stuff, got ready, made some choices, amps, snare drums, and that was it.
You see, we reading the news and, looking at our heroes and bands from the past, when they do new things, we're such jerks, and I'll say this because what I took from those recordings was that he's redoing the past so he has the masters and he can make more money and profit off of it, right? And there's nothing negative about that. You just described it as like, wow, we've been working really hard. Our gig got canceled. let's take the work that we've done and do something with it.
That was it. That was the whole thing.
That's it.
Yep.
I'm a jerk.
Oh, no.
I mean, I wasn't sitting on it. I really wasn't. I was like, well, what's the point? I'll listen to it because my pal, I mean, we don't hang out very much, but I feel from osmosis from New Jersey, from my wife, I call you my pal. He's on these records. This is amazing. And you did a fabulous job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As live as it gets. There's mistakes in there, which are great. That's Van Halen.
Oh, so it was supposed to be just that, as opposed to like, oh, here it is. David Lee Roth is putting out music and there's big headlines and we're supposed to make it mean something more than they're just art being created by artists.
That was it.
Good for you. All right, let's look at this set list. Panama, Drop Dead Legs, Show Your Love, I'm the One. Wow, see, that's one of them.
Fun song.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll Wait, You Really Got Me, Running with the Devil, Romeo Delight, Dance the Night Away, Mean Street, Atomic Punk, Jamie's Crying, Unchained, Pretty Woman, Ain't Talking About Love, Hot for Teacher, Everybody Wants Some, Jump, and at the end it says bow.
Yes.
We bow together.
Don't want to miss the bow.
Is that something, has he ever explained like why you bow or why you should bow or get over here, Valentino?
It's just a thing that it comes from a lot of those very classic artists. A bow is very polite to the audience.
Absolutely
and,
is. I appreciate
and you're
it.
about to leave.
Yeah.
So the least you could do for them is, finalize it and put some punctuation on it and say goodbye.
Wow. What's your favorite song to play? You're just
Dance the Night Away.
Really?
Love it.
Why is that?
So like a lot of these songs, if you break them down and you remove Eddie and that whole layer of stuff that he did and invented on top of this, they're just pop songs.
Yeah.
They're basic pop rock songs that just feel good. Mm-hmm. They're like 60s era pop songs. They're formulaic, short, sweet, well-crafted. And for me, Dance the Night Away is exactly that. It's just a terrific song. And I just love playing songs. I don't care about the drums.
Yeah.
I just want to play songs.
Yeah.
And that's a great moment that's not super technical in the set list to just back out and groove a little bit and just and try to absorb what's happening and take it in, and like you can go autopilot for a second and just watch and listen. So, my favorite part of the night, and it's kind of in the middle of the show. Yeah. Top middle. But
is there a song on the list that gives you a little nerves? Like, oh gosh, I want to do it justice. I mean, at this point, you've been doing it for a very long time. So
in theory, it should be Hot for Teacher, but it's not. That one kind of just peels off the way it does.
Yeah.
And it's different every night. You never know what's going to happen. And there's a beauty in that and a comfort in that. But I would say if anything was complicated during the show that could be in the back of your mind till it's over, there's really nothing too big. It's maybe just a couple of cued things that can go the way they might go, which could be totally haywire in some of the breakdowns. Like, for example, in a Dance Night Away even.
Right.
There's a big open-ended breakdown, story time kind of thing, break it way down. And coming out of that can be very different depending on if you can see David or not.
Oh,
if he's somewhere off the stage, which started to happen. Where is he? So someone's got to drive that bus, and usually has to be me to get us back in. So just stuff like that, But that's bar band 101. If you can, use the same skills you picked up.
Yeah.
Along the way.
Just be a good listener.
Yep.
Yeah. So what about the other members of Van Halen? Have you met them? Like, Alex Van Halen? I mean, oh my goodness. Does David talk about them at all? Like, is there any interrelationship between you guys, David, that you've seen, and Van Halen?
There's zero. In this world with David, I've never met anybody else from Van Halen.
Right.
I did come across Michael Anthony one time on a cruise. We were playing with Matthew Curry.
Right.
And Sammy Hagar was the headliner on the boat, and Michael Anthony was with him. But just a quick handshake and a hello and catering, that was it.
Yeah.
But there's never any sort of interplay between Alex or even Michael or even the Sammy Dave dynamic. I don't know much about it.
Right.
Like, they're very, very... I wouldn't be surprised if that whole thing is fake.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty cordial about things, and like they toured together, they know each other, they're both totally successful.
We're making big things out of nothing.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yep.
Oh, look at us. My goodness. So what's your favorite place to play?
In general, or just on this tour?
Well, I mean, I guess in general, but you've seen a lot of cool places. Obviously, you've probably been, I don't know, more higher-falutin places with David Lee Roth, but I could be wrong. But in general, as a musician, Francis Valentino, your favorite spot, your favorite places to play or place?
Let's see.
Got any of them?
Yeah. This is going to sound like a total plug, but it's really not. Like, we were lucky growing up.
Yeah.
Sarah, too, and all of us from Jersey in that area.
Yeah.
We were spoiled because we had the Stone Pony.
Yep.
And clubs that size around the country are not the Stone Pony.
Yeah.
Even just audio-wise.
Yeah.
I think because I was lucky enough to come up through that pipeline in the Pony area, getting to play on a really well-done stage in a great club. That's one of my favorite places of all time.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Like, there's the Castle Theater in Bloomington, Illinois.
Yeah.
I've always liked that place.
Yeah.
And fortunately, Matthew Curry's from Bloomington.
Ah.
And I was there a couple times before I even knew him.
Yeah.
And I always liked it. With Hellbound Glory, I was there a handful of times. Something about that place had like a nice feel to it.
Yeah.
For a drummer, especially.
Yeah. Hey, listen, tell me off right now. Tell me, I love hearing you speak like with an Italian accent. Tell me to go fuck myself.
I'll get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. What kind of gear do you use? What's your drum kit?
Oh, it doesn't matter, frankly.
Really?
I prefer a nice Ludwig snare, Black Beauty or Superphonic. Mm-hmm. As long as the kit feels good and it's making musical sense, it's great. I love Ludwig drums. I like DW drums. I have to play DW with David because I guess they got the contract to build this large kit.
Oh.
I'm getting used to those.
That's the thing that's crazy because you have to play a huge kit, right? You can't show up with a David Lee Roth tour with a little jazz kit. With a little 18-inch kick.
Oh, no.
So is that part of the deal? You were like, wow, I have way more drums. Are there drums that you never touch?
Oh, yeah. So there's 4 bass drums in the kit.
Right.
I'm playing 2. Yeah. Because the other ones are drifting on the sides. They're kind of just out there.
Wasn't one of them back in the day a refrigerator?
It was.
Yeah.
I asked to do that again, but the crew didn't like that at all. They were like, that's one more thing that can go wrong. Why would you do something like that? I was like... Because it's cool.
Because it's awesome.
But no fridges yet. I mean, maybe next year. But yeah, there's the gong, obviously. The cymbals are all in play. I can reach everything. Yeah, the big secret is I just play the normal 4-piece kit with inside this larger thing that's there for the show.
That's funny.
Like, just rock and roll songs. They play themselves. They're basic.
Yeah, that's funny. And you have a tech?
Yes.
That's
Mike Grisiak, great guy.
Mike Grisiak.
He's the guy who's made this possible at all.
Yeah.
To maintain this thing.
Wow. So are all of the drums tuned up, meaning the ones you don't hit, or are they just kind of like for show completely and they just leave them, like, don't even worry about it, man. You don't even have to put heads on them. Don't worry. Or are they all ready to go?
I would say everything but those 2 extra bass drums. Those are just kind of props.
Right. You'll never.
They still vibrate, so they got to be kind of in tune a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't freak anybody out with like some rogue frequencies and stuff. But
yeah,
Mike does an amazing job of tuning these things every day and loves it. He loves doing this.
Yeah.
Like with a passion, which is great. I always feel bad. Like, I want to help carry this stuff. I'm used to doing this.
Yeah.
And like, I can't make this guy carry all this shit. And like, he loves it. He wants to. So it's,
That's great.
Yeah, it's 2 separate worlds operating to make one show. So it's nice.
Wow. Is there any plan to do any recording with David Lee Roth that you feel could be coming down the pike?
No recording that I know of at all. I know we're talking about more shows. He announced just a coming soon kind of thing for this upcoming year.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to even knowing what that might be because I don't know anything yet. Believe it or not, that's true. We don't know until he puts dates out.
Right.
So whenever he's ready to do that, I can't wait.
That's great. That's awesome. What are you listening to these days, music-wise?
Ooh.
What do you like?
Let's see.
I picture you with like some beautiful old Italian music with a nice gravy, cooking with your beautiful wife who's from the Dakotas, who's not Italian at all. She's like, what are you doing, honey? And you cooking this beautiful meal with Pavarotti in the background. And it's a lovely, lovely house that you keep.
Oh, yeah. As far as the Dakota thing, I've totally... forced Jersey upon her for now going on 13 years.
Yeah.
And she celebrates even more than I do. She loves New Jersey. She's East Coast now.
That's great.
And so I've tainted her in a way. I've poisoned her her Dakota cleanliness of this purified clean air culture out there.
Beautiful.
Now she lives on a turnpike most of the time with the rest of us. But listening, I've ended up listening to Role Model a bunch.
Role Model?
A little bit in this last month through some people who recommended that. Funny you mentioned Sinatra. I do listen to Sinatra pretty often.
Yeah, me too.
And I can bring that back to Mark Macefield. He would agree that we can have great Sinatra nights that might revolve around wine.
Yeah.
But that's obviously, let's see, Bruce. I can't stop listening to Bruce Springsteen because of the osmosis of Jersey.
Yeah.
If I can't think of anything else to put on, he just ends up being on.
Yeah. Okay, so as a Jersey person who loves Bruce, do you have to hate Billy Joel?
Oh, no, I love Billy Joel.
Thank you.
Billy is there's no, again, it's like no one's better than anybody else or worse. These people are just incredible.
Yeah.
They should all be celebrated and loved forever. Billy Joel's unbelievable.
Yeah. You're a smart guy.
Unbelievable.
You're a good guy. All right.
And,
go on.
It has never released a technically bad song.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Yeah.
It's Astounding.
You Jersey people, you get a little weird. Like, oh, fuck Billy Joel. I'm like, come on,
no
really?
way.
Can't we all coexist?
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right. I have a little speed round of questions here. What fascinates you, Francis Valentino?
I love the idea of flying because we fly so much for stuff like we all do. I would love to be able to get a pilot's license at some point. So I am obsessed with planes and learning how this stuff works.
Wow.
And like with the idea of one day, I would love to do it.
Wow. I think David Lee Roth knows how to fly, doesn't he?
Helicopter pilot.
Yeah, he can
that's
teach
a scary
it.
thought, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Diamond Dave? You were Diamond Dave in the air in the little Cessna?
It's a medevac, you know? EMT Dave.
Yeah. 1 second. I got to go save somebody off of a mountain. Wait, I'm not ready for this. Oh, my God. That's cool. I hope you get there. I hope you get up there in the sky.
I hope so. I hope I stay up there.
Yeah. What angers you? What pisses you off?
A lot of the stupid shit going on right now in the entire world.
Yeah.
By certain people who have no concept of what the human race is, tearing it apart inch by inch and making us all crazy and making us fight each other for no reason.
Yeah.
It can drain you, but it's also so obviously stupid and moronic that it's easy to rise above it and just and not be a monster to people.
Yeah.
Even if they're being a monster, just leave them alone over there. Don't match their monster.
Wow.
You know?
Good for you.
That's it.
That's awesome. Because sometimes I find myself wanting to go toe to toe and match the monster. But you know what? I'm going to take your advice.
I've tried. It doesn't work. I think
Exactly.
we all tried and realized that was really unpleasant. Now my whole day is ruined, and I'm going to wake up and think about this more.
Yeah.
That means they've taken something. They've won something. I'd rather not.
That's very true. What brings you joy?
Music.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Nothing else to that degree. It's music.
Yeah.
And making it with people who I don't have to think about it with.
Yeah.
That's the best. Is obviously great people and friends who I've done this with for my whole life so far. That's it. If you get those two things happening at the same time, nothing else really matters.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Until it's over.
Yeah. If you had a magic wand and you could fix something or change it to your liking, what would it be?
Ooh, boy, that's a lot of those things. I mean, the big one, how is it possible that there's millions of people who can't eat in this country or anywhere for that matter? Mm-hmm. And that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That would be the big wand fix very quickly.
Yeah.
And then work down from there through other things.
Yeah.
And then time travel would be one of my own guilty pleasures on the back end. I'd go visit a lot of places with that wand.
Yeah. Where would you go?
Oh, man. We always talked about going back to the last waltz.
Yeah.
Not that that's a huge, humanitarian fix, but I like to see it.
Yeah.
And then I'd go through, I'd like to travel to places that were right on the cusp of something huge in history happening to see what was really in play and what caused, on the darker side, like what caused like wars and things. Like, what was it really was it worth it?
Yeah.
In that moment to do all this.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah. Well, next year you're going to have to come out if you're in town when we perform the last waltz. We do it every year.
Oh, man.
We just had it a couple of weeks ago, and it was a beautiful, beautiful outing. We have a wonderful time, and so you got to come and play.
I would play every song in that show. Happily. I love the last waltz. That's part of my DNA at this point. So
that's great.
I'd love to.
Great. It's a done deal. So now my big important question for you, sir. Toilet paper, over or under?
Oh, boy. Again, this only applies to when I'm home and installing the toilet paper. In hotels, I don't even think about it. It's over there. I know it's in there. If it's not, I'll just call the front desk. If the hotel even has a front desk at different modes of touring. But I don't know. I'd probably go over.
Yeah, okay.
Just because somebody told me it was insane if you go under.
Thank you. I would have said the same thing. I would have called you insane.
And I do have that thought. Like if I replace it at home, like, do I want to be insane? This doesn't look right.
You're a conscientious person.
And I got to go over.
All right. My man. Francis Valentino, you're a phenomenal drummer. You're a phenomenal neighbor. I appreciate. Yeah.
I got to come over more. It's too close.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime. Francis Valentino, drummer with David Lee Roth. You are from New Jersey. You're keeping Nashville as real as it can be. Is there great pizza in Nashville yet?
I haven't found it.
Exactly.
Not even close.
Not even close.
What a shame.
Yeah, I know. Oh, well. What are we going to do? Thank you so much for being on the Just Keep Talking podcast, my man.
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
Oh, right on. My name is Brother Love, and I do appreciate you tuning into the Just Keep Talking podcast with me because your story matters. Until next time, bye-bye.
You can personally support this show simply by clicking the tip link in the show notes. The Just Keep Talking podcast is now available on all podcast platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe. Visit our website at justkeeptalking.com, our YouTube channel,
at Just Keep Talking Podcast and Instagram at The Just Keep Talking Podcast. We all just want to be seen, to be heard, and to belong. Thank you so much for supporting my mission and the Just Keep Talking Podcast with me, Brother Love, because your story matters.